Welcome back to another episode of Backyard Build. On this episode, we're going to be working on the Coronet some more. We're going to get the engine all put back together because it's already been torn down, but we're going to get the parts all put back on. So let's get the camera turned around and show you the table full of parts. All right, let's get into it. Okay, here we have a table full of all the parts that's going on. Got a new Edelbrock Performer intake manifold, fuel pump, brackets, all brand new bolts, fitting for the water inlet from the water pump to the intake here, the cam retention plate, crank pulley and harmonic balancer, and then new parts have thermostat housing, thermostat, brand new head gasket kit set with all the different gaskets and everything, brand new oil pan gasket, brand new alternator, brand new starter, brand new thumper, cam shaft and lifters, brand new timing cover with seal, cam bearings, double roller rocker or double roller timing chain, brand new water pump, and brand new valve covers. So time to start getting these parts on. I have already done quite a bit of work that I forgot to film. Tore the block all the way down, or the engine all the way down to the block. Had the heads resurfaced, pressure tested, and cleaned up really nice. Taped it all off and painted the block. And I already put the new head gaskets on and torqued them down. Everything's painted and ready to start going together the rest of the way, as well as I already installed the new cam bearings. You can see they're in there. And so it's ready to start going together. Just got to change out the front gear, but I'll have that all filmed probably in time lapse, because there's enough videos out there on the internet of how to do this. I'm just doing this to start up a YouTube channel and see if I can get some of that YouTube money. All right. Okay, let's get started putting the camshaft in. Got the brand new camshafter from Comps. It's the Comp Thumper. The duration is 243 intake, 257 exhaust, with a lobe separation of 107. So just got the camshaft out of the bag. I have to rinse it off or wash it off. I'm gonna blast off some brake clean, getting the packing oil, shipping oil off of it. So it's nice and clean for the assembly loop. We have some compressed air. Alright, noisy part's done. Sorry about that. Alright, we're going to get the assembly loop on. I already put in the new cam bearings. I didn't film that part, as I said earlier. Okay, we're going to get the cam in plate here on. This torque specs for those are 10 pounds or something like that, so it's not much. Alright, what's next? Let me get this gear changed out. New double roller. Let's see, when I looked that up, I believe it said, alright, so to retard the timing, wherever you set it on the square shaped one, for factory timing you set it on the oval, the circular tipped one, and to advance it you set it on the triangular tipped one. So I'm just going to set it at factory because there's nothing crazy going on in here. I mean, it's got a thumper cam in it, but that's about it. You put the eccentric for the fuel pump on. There we go. Had to get the keyway sticking out enough so that it caught on the keyway of the eccentric for the timing or fuel pump. And that I need to look up the torque specs on that. Looks like the cam bolt is 35 foot-pounds. Nope. Alright. It's on. Now I need to put the timing cover on, but I have to look and find out which ones need thread sealant, because some of these go into the coolant ports. Like this one right here, it looks like it does. Yep. And this one comes into the oil passage, or into the lifter valley. Little pin flashlight. And then these three right here. Okay, so we're gonna push this seal into the front of this coolant cover. I don't have the normal installation tool, so I'll do this to keep it nice and straight. Nice, like a butter. And there we go. Simple as that. You know, to make this much easier is if I had a buddy to help me film. I'm actually starting this YouTube channel fresh, and I'm having to do all the filming and the setting the camera and all that stuff, whereas if I had somebody helping me, this would be a heck of a lot easier. So if you live in the Salem area and you're looking to get in on a ground floor level YouTube channel starting up, it's a great opportunity. I have a bunch of cars to work on, and you know, looking for some friends to help me film, like the show Stay Tuned with Tony Angelo. I mean, something like that is ideal. That's what I'm looking for. So if you see this video and you want to message me and want to put in an application, I'd be really happy to hear from everybody. So, all right. Okay, it's a new day. Yesterday I got to the point where I realized I didn't have the gasket I needed for the timing chain cover. So we're getting back into it today. Like I said, I'm not snugging these up. I'm just getting them where it pulls it up against it or whatever. And stuff them out with the water pump. And then I need to slip the crank pulley in there so that it centers it as well before I snug that up. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the harmonic balancer on, crank pulley, whatever, and then flip it over and put the oil pan on, and then I can mount this, put the water pump on, and that'll be all perfectly centered. Really hope this pulley works with this cover, because this one has a bracket that goes here that lines the mark up here, but this cover relocates it over to here. And so what I was going to do is put this bracket on, make sure that was right, and then make a mark on the pulley on this side. But the question I'm getting now, by looking at it, is the distance that this has to go on in and how much this sticks up. I don't think this pulley will work with this timing mark stuff here, because I do not believe this will go in far enough. Okay, I'm going to see if this pulley will work with it or whatever. As long as it bottoms out before it gets to here, then it'll work. But I'm thinking that it's going to end up touching here before it bottoms out. So we'll see. That's definitely bottomed out. And there's room. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that. I'm going to have to show you guys the amount of space here. I gotta see what I want right there. Just enough space. It'll work. That was something that was gonna hold me up. As soon as I saw that, a little bit ago. I was like, great, now I gotta wait weeks for a crank pulley to come. But luckily, it works. It's one in the wind column. Now, I'm gonna rotate it over so I can tighten down the oil pan so that the timing cover is perfectly centered. And then I can put the water pump on and tighten it down. I don't have the lifters in or nothing like that yet, so it's not gonna spill over, fall out. And there is no windage tray in this one. There's even the studs that stick up for mounting it. When I looked it up, it said some of them did not have that. Okay, so the oil pump came in. You get it on, so I can put the oil pan on. It comes with a gasket. When I looked it up online, everybody says that it didn't come with one from the factory, which when I took this off, it did not have one. And they said that it comes with a little paper thin one and it's just junk, throw it away, don't need it. Which is exactly what this one came with. A little thin as paper. And this machine pretty darn smooth, so I guess it doesn't need it supposedly, but oil pump attachment bolts, 35 foot-pounds. Okay, oil pump's torqued down. Pick up next level pin. Nice. Alright, got the oil pan on. My buddy showed up, so I didn't get to film anymore, but just finished tightening up the bolts basically and then flip the engine back over so you're not miss much. Just put a real thin coat of form gasket on there to help hold the gasket in place. Got to set up a little bit. A little sticky. Keep it popping out on me. And some of these bolts get thread locker on them. The thread sealer as they go through the oil ports or coolant ports. Alright, now we're going to get the fuel pump mounted. There we go, fuel pump's mounted. Okay, it's a new day. Yesterday got to the point where I needed to wait for something to come in from the auto parts store. So I stopped filming and started putting stuff away. And luckily I did because it started sprinkling, so I had to cover the engine before it would get wet. Because like I said before, my garage is full at the moment. I need to get the projects that are in there done and out of the way so I can start filming and working in my garage. So, you know, I get this thing uncovered. Had to get some more of the Comp Cam lube because the other day, it's been 2-3 days and it's gotten hot, and the other day I put some on there and it all ran off. So, you know, it's the stuff I recommend is use, but if you don't plan on firing it up that day, then it just kind of runs off. So I'm going to put some more on it, and I think what I'm going to end up doing is the day I'm going to start it up, pull the intake back off and then put some more fresh stuff on there. That way it's there, but I want it to be there for a while. I'm assembling and putting the lifters in and the push rods and all that. So alright, I'm gonna run and grab the lifters and the other parts that I need because I forgot to set them out before I started filming. Okay, so I got all my parts and stuff set out here. Have the lifters soaking since the first day I started filming, which is like 3 days ago, so it should definitely be soaked enough. There's all kinds of stuff about whether to soak them or not soak them. Who knows, so might as well soak them, right? Anyway, so start putting these down in here. Last one. This will be so much nicer and entertaining to film when I have a buddy to help me, because I don't know if you've ever tried to talk to a camera as if you're talking to somebody, but it's pretty damn difficult. So hats off to all the people that are really good at it, because it's not easy to talk to the camera like you're talking to a human. So if I had somebody here to help me film that was holding the camera, I could talk like I'm talking to them, and it would just come out much easier and not seem so forced. As well as there won't be so much time, like when I started I said some things and then went on and I wasn't talking. That'll be some boring footage. Whereas if I had, you know, somebody to talk to, there'd be questions being asked and answered, and there'll be you know, talking going on back and forth between me and a buddy, you know, which will make for nicer videos because there won't be so much downtime of silence. So again, if you're interested and you live in the Salem area, message me on the video comments, and we'll set up an interview or you know, get together or something, and a trial video and see how it goes. All right, well, anyway, so I got the lifters in. Next we'll be getting the push rods in. Make sure I have the push rods all cleaned up and labeled, you know, front to back, and passenger side, driver side, left hand, right hand side, whatever you want to call it. I'll do the passenger side first, which is the side closest to me, and start in the front. Alright, well, that's the first board empty. Alrighty. Next will be the rocker arm assemblies. Alright, we can get the rocker shaft torqued down. Says the torque specs on that are 17 foot-pounds. And keep it covered with plastic while I'm doing it, because there's cottonwood or something around, or these bushes you see in the background, a bunch of little baby wishes on them basically. The wind keeps blowing, I don't want to end up inside the motor, engine, whatever. Alright, torque down. Okay, so this is what I was saying about the comp cams assembly not staying on the camshaft. You can see it's not really thick on there. They're not dry by any means, but you know, it's just not thick on there. You can see it's, you know, up and around here, but as far as on the lobes, it's really not on there. And I put a crap ton on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the intake manifold on and the valve covers and everything, so I can get the engine closed up and set in. And then once it's in the vehicle, on the day that I'm going to start it up, I'll pull the intake manifold back off, and then I'll put some fresh lube and stuff down in there so that it's you know, nice and thick and on there, so that it's, you know, has the best chance of not wiping out a cam lobe or lifter. So anyway, so let's get started. Since this is not going to be the way I leave it, I'll use the cork gaskets for this part, but when I go to put it on permanently, I won't use the cork gaskets, because Edelbrock actually says don't use these. It actually says use the Forma gasket on it. So I'll use this for now to keep moisture in any water if it rains from being able to get inside the lifter valley. Well, there's no threads. I was trying to make sure that part wasn't thicker than the actual spacing of the manifold. That way it wouldn't bottom out on the threads before it actually tightened down the manifold. Okay. I'm gonna get the oil pump drive down in there. Next, I put on the valve covers, which, ooh, gonna look nice. Got a brand new set of Edelbrock valve covers, rocker arm covers, whatever you want to call them. Part number 4473, black powder coated. I don't know if the camera can pick that up or whatever, but they're not just a smooth black. They actually have that textured kind of look to them, so they're pretty cool looking. Just got to grab the gasket real quick. And there's that one. There's new grommets. Put the grommets put in. I just got to go actually to the store here a little bit and get breathers or PCV valve put in there so it's sealed up. Otherwise, rain can get in that way. So I'll just swap it now, instead of PCV being on this side, put it on this side and the filler neck on this side rather than over here. I guess I can top it with the carburetor to get the full effect. And there we go. And we don't have his air cleaner to go on top. Let's see, it looks pretty snazzy. Pretty happy with how it came out. Can't wait to have all the accessories on and see how it all looks. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys like this one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for next week. We should be back on the Camaro, so we'll see you in the next one.